Gareth, let's talk today about the meeting process, and we've touched on this on many of our videos before, but specifically the process that happens at the end of a meeting. I've been in so many meetings, and I remember from bad experience myself, running out of time at the end of the meeting, so that in effect, the really important bit is rushed, and then the follow-up that you then try to do fails because, well, you weren't in the room when it happened, so to speak. So talk to us about your experience of that and some tips that you could give to try to reduce the likelihood of that happening.
Yeah, very common experience, and like you, I've experienced that, and I've seen it a lot as well. I think there's something really important here, which is if you're going to have a customer engagement, you're going to be meeting with a customer around an idea, proposition, proposal, whatever. There's something there about planning for the plan in your meeting, and it's something that people often miss because, of course, they're thinking about perhaps the proposal, the questions, whatever else it might be, all the things that we've spoken about. And there's a really important bit, which is, okay, think about the outcome you're looking to achieve in that proposal. And okay, making sure that you thought about the plan, because one of the dangers is you rush it, you then send the plan to your customer afterwards, after the meeting, maybe weekend may have gone by or a few days. And of course, the danger of that is it's not a joint plan, it's your plan that you've sent to them. And particularly, by the way, if you've emailed it to them, which is often a default form of communication, it's actually not a very efficient form of communication because most people have got inboxes that are completely crammed. And of course, all you've got is your written style. So it's very difficult to get some nuance in some of the words around what people actually mean by things. So it's a real problem rushing towards the end.
Okay, so have a plan before you go in. I get that. Now, I know a lot of people listening now will be going, well, how can I have a plan until I've had the meeting?
Yeah.
And I know our process of kind of seeking first to understand, checking your understanding, and then telling your story with the plan at the end of that story is something that's fundamental to the way that we believe commercial people operate. But how can you go in with a plan if that plan is dependent on the conversation you have in the meeting? That's what stops people to an extent of having a fully formed plan before they go in.
Absolutely. And we've spoken before about being clear on what your outcomes are, what's your objective. And what I've asked people this question, let's assume success. If you were successful, what would the plan be? And most people have got a pretty good view about what needs to happen, who needs to do it, when does it need to be done by? And if you actually get them to pull it together, you kind of go, well, okay, well, how realistic is that? And most people go, if we were successful, well, that would be the basis of the plan. Well, let's frame it up like this. It's never going to be 100% successful, but the point about it is, if you bring it in as like a straw man, as a potential plan, and frame it up in front of your customer like that, look, I know this isn't going to be 100% correct. However, we pull something together that we can work through. Well, you can work it through with them, but I think it also is exactly with the same principles of what you spoke about, which is you're getting them engaged with it. And if you frame it up as not being 100% correct, you're by definition wanting your customer engagement. And in my experience, assuming you're going to be, some way, shape, or form going towards what your objective was, well, you're more likely to get a plan that's fit for purpose that way.
Got it. So go in with a plan, that's the key. Be very open to the fact that it's a working document, a straw man, as you put it, and position it as such. And then by working with your customer in that meeting on that plan, then you actually have a pre-work plan, but then is finessed towards the ultimate solution. Okay, great. Thanks very much, Gareth.